Hi, this is Hussaini, Director, Coaches Committee, Archery Association of India. Right from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, in front of the Petronas Towers, also known as Petronas Twin Towers, the 88-story super tall skyscrapers at 451.9 meters. They're the world's tallest twin skyscrapers. Welcome again to Discover the Mind Coach in You. Namaste, namaskar. Welcome to Aap Hai next to Dronacharya. Chalo, तीरंदाज में Olympic gold लाएंगे. Chalo, the Olympic gold in archery. Nothing but the Olympic gold. Let me tell you the greatest secret of mental training in archery. The best kept secret, the ultimate mental training in archery is not to train the mind. The archer can perform wonders in archery if he or she can disconnect the mind, destroy the mind, forget the existence of the mind, obliterate the mind, just make the mind disappear from the person inside. Who can shoot better? A human with the most sophisticated mind, which is more complex than a million computers, or a robot made of just metal wire, circuitry and chips? The shocking answer is a robo is better, much better, because no stimuli other than what's programmed inside ever affects his performance. Mens sana in corpore sano, the Latin phrase meaning a healthy mind in a healthy body, can't be emphasized more. Archery is a game where a specific routine has to be executed many times to shoot an arrow into the center of the target over and over again, thousands and thousands of times. When a task has to be repeated over and over again in modern factory, we use a robot. And it's a machine that is capable of repeating many times a predefined action with great precision. But can an archer perform like a robot, driving arrow into the X of the bullseye? Can the best archer shoot all arrows as a Robin Hood, arrows into arrow dot in the same point? Unfortunately, it's impossible for a human to perform like a robo. The human mind is so creative and so active with a zillion thoughts buzzing inside the head of all the time that the mind becomes the mind's greatest enemy and affects every arrow. A mind can inspire, a man can push performance limits, a mind can persevere, a mind can provoke dynamic action, but it can also hamper the performance of the archer like nothing else can. There is no need training the mind if we can find a way to make the mind just stop functioning. The tragedy is we just don't have the magic formula to make the mind disappear. So we are left with just one option: reining the mind and harnessing it to our advantage. No other mind in the world can do this but the Indian mind. The Indian mind is known to be the most trained mind for centuries. Then what is stopping our Indian archers from taming this giant? What stops us from stopping this beast from acting against us? The central nervous system controls the muscles of the athlete. It is recognized that tasks that have been practiced many times over and over again and that have reached a certain level of automation are executed easier and more precisely than non-routine tasks. The number of components involved in the human nervous system is uncountable. The human nervous system is a highly complex, sophisticated, effectively integrated network. A change in the mental, emotional state of the archer is consciously or subconsciously accompanied by a change in the human behavior. The human brain is a part of the central nervous system. Brain activity influences the execution of a shot. All kinds of events that are watched by the archer and are also thoughts that go around in the head of the archer can distract them of the task at hand and disturb the archery routine. The mind reacts to every kind of stimuli, relevant and non-relevant. Thoughts, sights, sounds, people, happenings and the operants all act as a huge distraction to the precision performance of an archer. The state of concentration is disrupted and an archer is incapable to act like a robot. Active movement in the mind is going on by itself without conscious control, using a multitude of stimuli that are stored in memory and our experiences, expectations, hope, terror of losing, pressure of peak performance, tension of a stray shot. So much is working on the mind. Let's understand there are two distractions happening. One, distractions from outside the mind affecting the mind, and two, distractions from inside the mind affecting the mind. So the first job of taming the mind is to deactivate the mind and let the muscular memory of the shot routine completely take over. So now we need to lure the mind, tempt the mind, lead the mind, trick the mind, attract the mind to something very pivotal to existence. to something that can connect biology to psychology, something that can bridge the mind to the muscle and enhance the deactivation of the mind, something very epicentral to life and the being. This brings us to another mind inside the muscle called biorhythm. If we can sync with this rhythm, if we can fuse into the beats, if we can keep up with the bio-tempo, then the big job of disconnecting with the primal mind and letting the secondary mind inside the muscle take over becomes possible. Connecting to this rhythm deactivates the mechanics of both stimuli from outside the mind and inside the mind. The Indian ancient art of DHU VRITTI, meaning heartbeat rhythm, has been one of the greatest secrets of sages and saints from time immemorial. Understanding one's rhythm of the heart, allowing the primal mind to sync with the heart muscles, mind, and in the end controlling both the heartbeat waves rhythm as well as the mind waves rhythm, is an art of the supreme. If we are to win in the next Olympics, the aspiring Olympic archers must start their medal winning spree by first reading their heart rhythm, by learning to read their pulse rate. The pulse rate is the heart rate timing. The heart rate is the rhythm of life. If one can regulate the heart rate and then sync it with the rhythm of the muscular action of the archery shot, the primal mind is liberated from all the stimuli hampering it and distracting the muscle. There is a flow of muscle movement through the various stages of picking the arrow, knocking it in the string, presetting the body, drawing, aiming, releasing, follow through, and recovery. This must sync with the rhythm of the heart. This happens in 3 stages. 1. Regulating and standardizing a shooting heart rate. 2. Memorizing the rhythm and allowing it to take over. 3. Synchronous movements of the shot sequence. DHU VRITTI. DHU VRITTI becomes the first weapon of the Olympic archer to deactivate the primal mind and let the mind of the muscle, which can only create rhythm, take over the shooting process. This becomes the first step in robotic shooting, where the mind deactivates the mind and the robo inside takes over and does all the organizational primary task of shooting arrows into the X of the target. The archer is on the right road to right mental training. Hey, more to come on the mind, about the mind, the Olympic gold in archery. Nothing but the Olympic gold. DHU VRITTI, your first step. The job starts today. Your job starts right now. Till I provoke your mind again, it's a bye from me. Who? Jai Hind. Om, Om, Om. Olympic medal, nothing but the Olympic medal. From KL, Malaysia.